Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 6 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 6 math and then click on view all lessons. We're going to start with the chapter statistics. The lessons we're going to cover today are make predictions, probability of opposite, mutually exclusive and overlapping events, compound events, find the number of outcomes by counting, and identify dependent and independent events. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I am on grade 6 math. Let's just start with the chapter probability. We're going to start with the lesson make predictions. If you spin the spinner 12 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will not land on blue? The spinner has 12 equal sections, right? So the ones that are not blue means the purple one. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the probability of event that is not blue is 9 out of 12. You spin the spinner 12 times. 9 by 12 times 12 is 9. So that means the best prediction possible is 9 out of. Let's just start with the test questions. If you flip 2 coins 8 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times both coins will land on tails? So if you flip 2 coins 8 times, what is the best prediction for the number of times both coins will land on tails? So when you have 2 coins, so the total outcomes are 8, I think. Head, head, tail, tail, head, tail, tail, head. 4 outcomes, right? So number of times it will land on tails is, probability of both tails is 1 out of 4, right? Hold on. 2, 2. Yes, you have total 4 outcomes, right? So that is one out. Yes, okay. The probability is 1 out of 4. Now you did that 8 times. So you have to do 1 by 4 times 8. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So the total, the best prediction possible for the number of times the coin will land on tails is only 2 times. If you did that 8 times or 2 times, it will land on both tails. Got it? If you spin the spinner 12 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will not land on blue? So not land on blue means it will land on the purple one then, right? So the total outcomes of the spinner are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The total are 12 and it will not land on blue is, not blue is 9 out of 12 because 9 times you are not on blue. That is 9 by 12 and you did that 12 times. So 9 by 12 times 12 is 12 and 12 cancel out, you are left with 9. So that means the best prediction is 9 times it will not land on blue. That is 9. You spin the spinner 6 times. If you spin the spinner 6 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will land on yellow or green? So you spin the spinner 6 times, yellow or green. So the probability of yellow or green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that is 6 by 6, that is 1. So you did that 6 times, you have to do 1 times 6, that is 6. But I can hear myself clearly. You can check at your side. Hi everyone. Can you hear me? Is there any problem with my, is there any problem you face while hearing me? The correct option is 6. Option number 3 is the correct option. If you spin the spinner 9 times, what is the best prediction possible for the number of times it will land on yellow? Land on yellow. So you need to calculate the probability of yellow first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6 out of 9, right? So now you did that 9 times. So 6 out of 9 times 9. 9 and 9 cancel out. You're left with 6. The correct option is 6. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is possible probabilities of opposite, mutually exclusive, and overlapping unions. You pick a card at random. What is the probability of not green? Not green means the other cards, right? So the probability of not green. First, we need to count the total cards. There are 8. The ones that are not green are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 6 out of 8. You need to find the probability in percentage. So that is 6 out of 8 times 100. So that is 75%. That means 75% is the probability of not green. Let's just start with the test questions. You flip a coin. What is the probability of not tails? So which is the correct option? So the probability of not tails mean the probability of head. So when you flip a coin, the chance for the head and tail is 50-50, right? Like you flipped a coin, you have only two options. Either it will land on head or either it will land on tails. So you have 50% chance, like if either it will land on head or tail. So the correct option is 1 by 2. You have to convert it into percentage form. So multiply by 100. That is 50%. Option number 2 is the correct option. Very good. That is 50%. Option 2 is the correct option. You spin the spinner once. What is the probability of not pink? So the probability of not pink. That is 9 by 10, right? You need to write the answer in percentage form, multiply it by the 100. So then that would be 90%. The correct option is 90%. Option number 3 is the correct option. 90% it is. You spin the spinner once. What is the probability of not 6? Not green means that is 5 over 6, right? Option number 3 is the correct option. Because only one is the green, so 5 by 6 are the ones that are not green. P is the probability. You roll a 6-sided die. What is the probability of not even? So on the dice we have 6 numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 of them are not even, right? And 3 of them are even. That means 50% of them are not even. Hello, can you hear me? The correct option is 50%. Which one I got wrong? Not green is you have 6 of them that are not green, right? So that is 6 out of 8. The probability of not green is 6 out of 8. You have to multiply it times by 100. So that is 75%. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 75%. Got it? Okay, you pick a card at random. What is the probability of not greater than 5? Not greater than 5 means you have that is 1 by 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is depend compound events. Find the number of outcomes by counting. Compound event means you are going to combine two events, right? More than one event is a compound event. So you pick a card and roll a die. How many outcomes are possible? So for the cards, you have five outcomes: one, two, three, four, five. And for the dice, you have six outcomes. You need to calculate the total outcomes. So you have to do 5 times 6, that is, hear me? Yes, you have to do 5 times 6, that is 30. Multiply the outcome of one event by the outcome of the second event, right? You are given the spinner and the cards. You have four cards and you have four outcomes for the cards and two outcomes for the spinner. You have to do 4 times 2, right? And 4 times 2 makes 8. So the total outcomes are 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. You have total 8 outcomes. You spin the spinner and you spin the spinner and pick a card. How many outcomes are possible? Which is the correct option? That is 8 times 2, right? 8 times 2 is 16. Option number 3 is the correct option. 2. Use pick a card and spin the spinner. How many outcomes are possible? So, which is the correct option? So, the spinner has 4 portions and you have 3 for the cards. 27. Why 27? Just understand and then answer. You have 4 outcomes for the spinner because the spinner has 4 portions and you have 3 cards, so you have to do 4 times 3, that is 12. You are just guessing the answers, right? The correct option is 12. Why don't you understand? They are very easy to understand. Okay, spinner. How many options? That is 3 times 5, that is 15. Option number 1 is the correct option. You roll a die and pick a marble. How many outcomes are possible? So, which is the correct option? 6 times 2 is 12. The correct option is 12 because the dice has 6 outcomes and you have 2 marbles. So, you have to do 6 times 2, that is 12. That is 4 times 4, 16 it is. The correct option is 16. Very good. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is Identify dependent and dependent events. So, Mr. Christensen's students are picking slips of papers numbered from 1 to 30 to determine the order in which oral reports will be given. Stacky picks the number first, the mason picks a number. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the dependent events because if Stacky picks the first number, the rest of the students cannot pick the number that Stacky picks, right? So if the outcomes for the events is not same every time, that means that they are the dependent events, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Justin pick a card at random. Without putting the card back, he picks a second card at random. Are these two events dependent or independent? So for the first time, Justin has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven options, right? For example, he picked the yellow pink card and he didn't put the card back. Now for the second time, we have one less cards, one, two, three, four, five, six. So they are dependent events. If the outcomes for all the events are exactly same, that is the event. But if the outcomes of the events are not same, then they are the dependent events. Option number one is the correct option. Jennifer picks a card at random, put it back, and then pick another card at random. Are these two events dependent or independent events? So you have three events for the first time, three outcomes, right? You Jennifer pick a card but put it back. For the second time, again she have three cards. So they are the independent events. Farah pulls a coin out of her pocket and places it on the table. Then she reaches back into her pocket and take out a second one. Are these two events dependent or independent events? They are the dependent events because for the first time, for example, if she have four coins in her pocket, For the second time, she have three coins because she already picked one, so they are the dependent demons. Option number one is the correct option. Aaron spins the spinner twice. Are these two events dependent or independent? Whenever you are working on the spinners, the events are always independent. Spinners and dice. Whenever you are working with dice and spinners, the events are always independent. Dean and Christopher see a movie together. Dean picks a chair first, then Christopher does. Are these two events dependent or independent? They are the dependent events. The correct option is dependent because if the Christopher select the one for the Dean, we have only one option. So they are the dependent events. They are the dependent events. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. The chapter we're working on is probability. The lessons we have covered today are make predictions, probability of opposite, mutually exclusive and overlapping events, compound events, find the number of outcomes by counting, and identify dependent and independent events. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write down the questions in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So any questions you can please ask if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.